This is an economy with two goods, X and Y, and two persons, 1 and 2. Person 1's origin is at the lower left corner, while person 2's at the upper right corner of this box. This box is called the Edgeworth box. U1 is the indifference curve of person 1, U2 that of person 2. Suppose initially person 1 finds his optimum consumption of X and Y at point A. When the price of X becomes lower, the budget line becomes flatter. Person 1 now finds his optimal consumption at point B. His utility level is raised higher because of the lower price of X. When person 1 has a higher utility level, person 2 must have a lower one. Person 2 will protest. To pacify person 2, person 1 is asked to compensate person 2. According to Hicks, person 1 should fully compensate person 2. Compensation is like cutting his income and giving it to person 2. Since point A is the original position for both persons, when person 1's income is reduced to compensate person 2 up to point A, person 2 has his original consumption restored. When person 2 has maintained the original consumption level, person 1 has a higher utility level than before. This is because the budget line, which now cuts through point A, must be tangent to a higher indifference curve. Hence, the compensation scheme confirms that the policy, the lower price of X, is a Pareto move. A Pareto move is one that benefits someone without hurting any other. This is Hicks' compensation theory. And half of the population start to demand for compensation. Tversky tried to disprove Hicks' theory. When person 1 should compensate person 2 for a policy that moves from A to B, Tversky proves that person 2 should also compensate person 1 for a policy that moves from B to A. The move from B to A hurts person 1, so person 2 is asked to fully compensate person 1. When person 2's income is reduced to his original level at point B, person 1 has a higher utility level. Hence, the compensation scheme proves that the move from B to A is also Pareto. Now, the other half of the population also demand for compensation. What Tversky has proved is not a paradox. It just confirms that any compensation is equally Pareto. Whenever there are two different budget lines, the shift of any one of them to the original position always results in a higher indifference curve. Here too, when both compensation schemes are Pareto move, which compensation is truly Pareto. Hicks and Sitowski have used the price reduction to imply welfare improvement and the reason for paying compensation. But can a price increase be also reason for paying compensation? Here, the price of X has increased, and the budget line has become steeper. But person 1 will also be asked to compensate the person 2, and was assured that he would still be better off. However, person 1 must object to pay the compensation on the ground that he is now facing a higher price. It is like a person being robbed is asked to compensate the robber. Such compensation is wrong. In sum, compensation is willful. Sometimes it is wrong. Compensation, like intervention, is non-economics.